Hello. I thought I would make another video today. It's being Saturday, through the noise of the children outside. And this is, I had told you before that I use a very few bagged teas, and this is one of them. It's an organic Assam. It's by 2 Leaves. I actually got this over the counter at Safeway, or I should say off the shelf at Safeway. And it's really good tea. Let me show you kind of how I deal with it, what I do with this tea. And I also got the new Vanity Fair here. It's called Here's Jimmy. And of course, you know, he's taken over the Tonight Show. I don't know, as I look through these magazines and I look through some of these people, it always makes me amazed that that there are real people who look like this. I don't know. It's kind of funny. There's the new Cadillac CTS. I want one of those for my birthday. That's interesting. Anyway, Revlon seems to be the thing of the day. Anyway, you always have, you're going to sit down with some tea, you always have to have a magazine or something to do. Nice little afternoon thing. Got my trivet here so I don't burn the top of my glass table with my hot pot. So while the water cooks, let me just explain to you about this tea, what I plan to do. This is, of course, they don't actually call this a tea bag. They call it a sachet. If you're in, I guess if you're in Canada, a sachet. But there it is. I don't plan to leave the tea in there. What I'm going to do is cut the bag open and pour this tea into the cup. Okay, so my water is finished now, and I have put the tea into the mug here. It's just, as you can see, just little granules like that. It's really not much. What it is it's orange Pekoe tea. Let me tell you what Assam is. For one thing, this is organically grown, which I like that. There's no chemicals in it. And it's orange Pekoe tea. It's from India, and it's really got it's got an interesting flavor to it. It's very, it's very malty. I would say it's got a malty flavor to it, and it's a kind of tea. It's one of those teas that really would go well with milk. You can put milk in this tea, and it'll taste great. But it's also what they call tippy. Let me explain to you. Tippy it's an old British phrase. It basically means that it's lively enough, it's good enough. It's good enough that you don't need to put milk. It's got a little lively tip to it because it's an orange Pekoe tea, even though it is a Indian black, which I know is a little confusing. But orange Pekoe is the type, and it does have a little citrus flavor to it. But it's just this really intense black tea, and it's got a very dark amber. As you can see, it's already starting to turn like that. It's got a very dark amber. A very dark amber color to it. And it's good to put some milk in there, but I like it without it, basically. But you always need to when you have something like this. Always good to have something to eat. Sitting down with tea in the afternoon is always good for something to eat. And in the case of Assam, apple pie. Is very good. Just slice about I think actually there's 210 calories in a slice of this pie. Meanwhile, the tea is way too hot still, but it's a very, very good little combination for the afternoon. 2 Leaves Tea Company they're kind of on the lower end. I think this probably cost me $4 15 of these individual bags, which again they call them sachets. I think it cost me about $4, like $4.35, but it was at Safeway right on the shelf. In some parts of the country you don't have Safeway, so I guess you got to go for Kroger's or whatever. And in Southern California it's called Vons, V-O-N-S. But it's a really good tea. This is these are all whole leaves again, and you'll see, you can already see that they're starting to expand and get large, and that's where really the quality comes in tea, is that it gets very big. The leaves, again, they will expand, and they release all the tannins and all of the flavonoids and all of the just all that goodness, all the flavor into the water, and you have a marvelous tea at the end of this. And for this mug, which I guess you could probably call this about 12 to somewhere between 12 and 16 ounces. I'm thinking 14 ounces. That's just a really perfect amount of tea in one of these little bags. They come in these little packets like this, and it just tears right across here. Again, I take a knife, I cut it open, I pour it directly inside. I don't use a tea bag because I want those leaves to expand and stretch out and just give me everything that's in there. I'm very greedy when it comes to tea. I want it to give me everything. So, something else I would want to say is about the water. I've already mentioned this, and that is definitely do not microwave water. Don't put tea in a microwave. It kills the taste. For me, maybe I'm just a little sensitive to it, I don't know, but for me, it kind of creates, kind of a metallic taste in my mouth, or weird, kind of an industrial kind of a taste in my mouth, and I really don't like it. So, it's one of those things where I really feel like the water and the quality of the tea leaves themselves is very, very important. And although I'm not, nerdly about it, I do think that if you're going to have tea, do it right. Have good tea. Don't just have tea. Have good tea. Some people prefer, they just pick up a bag of Lipton and just toss it in a cup and put some water in there and microwave it, and they're all done. It's over with. But what I'm going to do is, I do have some bagged Tetley tea, which is a lot better quality tea. It's British tea. And I'm going to open it up. In the next video, I'm going to open up a tea bag, and I'm going to show you the inside and explain to you some of the things that companies are allowed to put into tea bags. You'll never drink tea out of it with a bag again. I'll tell you that. So anyway, that's my little demonstration on tea for the day. This channel is about tea and the goodies that goes with it, and I guess I am kind of a tea snob, I don't know, but there's some things I like and I don't like, and hopefully, there's somebody who agrees with me. I'm going to try not to make these videos extremely long. When I do some of the ASMR stuff, I am probably going to end up with some longer videos, but not today. So this is Two Leaves Tea. It's from the Two Leaves Tea Company. This is organic Assam. It is amazingly, it has a wonderful aroma to it, and it's an orange Pekoe. It's an Indian black tea, and it's just a really good tea. You could put milk in it, and definitely eat it with something sweet, or eat something sweet with it, I should say. So there you are. I hope you all have a nice day.